Okay, folks, Andrew Bopros here. Well, I want to do a quick video on a wide receiver signing we just signed yesterday. We did release a wide receiver. I want to talk a little more about really the general manager staff and really what to expect moving forward. Again, we are clearly still trying to make the best possible 53-man roster we can. So lots of breakdown. Guys, let's get into it. Okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bopros. We talk about all things Chargers and somewhat the NFL, but mostly the Chargers, right? But let's talk about our GM staff here, folks. I mean, I've been more than impressed with, again, Joe Ortiz and Chad Alexander. Chad Alexander is actually the, assistant general manager for the Chargers. He's done a great job and, doing a good job of finding additional talent. And I think, he probably will have an opportunity to be a GM come this next season, right? So, we'll see how that plays out as well, too. But he's done a great job of assisting Joe Ortiz. I think they're doing a great job of finding additional value mid-season. Now, this was a waiver wire pickup. I'm going to talk a little bit about the person that was let go to make space for our new wide receivers, Des Fitzpatrick. Des Fitzpatrick, I think we picked him up. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, something of that nature. But clearly didn't turn enough heads on the practice squad to retain a spot, right? And I think a lot of times when you put on the practice squad, I think a lot of players, you tend to get a little lackluster and you start thinking, okay, well, I'm just here to sit off until next season, probably not going to play, yada, yada. But I think, Des Fitzpatrick, he had a lot of upside, but clearly didn't show enough with our coaching staff to warrant any playing time, of course, or really, retaining a spot on the practice squad. So we went out and signed another wide receiver. You might be asking yourself, who is this wide receiver? Well, he's got an interesting name. I want to make sure I say it correctly, but it's Laviska Shenault. Laviska? Am I saying that correctly? Laviska Shenault. Shenault, wide receiver, right? So interesting guy, right? Again, we signed him to the practice squad from Seattle. Again, Jay Harbaugh was there as well. This guy's a special teamer as well too. But let me talk a little about his background. Former second-round pick, Jacksonville Jaguars back in 2020, University of Colorado. A lot of people would classify him as a bust in the NFL. Now, we'll see how it goes. But he's 6'1", 225 pounds, big dude. Career totals of 162 receptions and a little over 1,600 receiving yards, 6 receiving touchdowns, and 235 rushing yards, right? So, again, he's fast guy. I mean, a lot of people really thought he'd be great. But he's a kick returner. He returned a first kick for touchdown on a 97-yard jaunt against San Francisco 49ers, I believe, this year. But, again, his best season was as a rookie with the Jaguars, 58 pass receptions, 600 yards, 5 touchdowns. And he's kind of just declined ever since, right? It's interesting, right? Because it's one of those things where, you think about why did we sign him? I think there's a lot to be said about that, right? Because I do think that, what's the intent of letting, Des Fitzpatrick go and potentially bringing another person in? Well, I think special teams is one thing, but he's had problems in special teams. And just most recently, he was, again, cut from the Seahawks, as we know, and it was largely because he fumbled the ball twice against a team in the NFL, his last game with the Seahawks. I believe, let's see, who was it with? I think it wasn't the Niners, but anyways, he fumbled 2 different times last week in week 13. So it was an absolutely disastrous game for him. And so really, ultimately, the Seahawks decided, well, we can't really keep him around. He's not can't fumble the ball, guys, right? And at the end of the day, he fumbled the ball 2 times. But he did spend some time with Carolina. And I think this was, it was his, anyways. This last game against the Jets. There we go. The Jets. He had 2 fumbles against the Jets last week. And guys, you can't do that in the NFL and still have a spot to play, right? And again, unfortunately for this young man, he was let go. But the Chargers clearly do think that we can, find some value with this young man and potentially make him a better player. One person that I think clearly has improved since they've been with the Chargers is this gentleman right here, Jalen Reagor. And again, I'm showing a fumble. Guys, that was huge. That would have changed the difference of the game. He was going in for a touchdown. I was at the game. It was so frustrating. But again, when you fumble the ball, hit the pylon, and again, it was an automatic turnover back to the Cardinals. It was the difference in the game of us winning and losing. And trust me, that's the difference between winning and losing in the NFL. But Jalen Reagor clearly has turned heads, right? And so you have to ask yourself this question: are they thinking he's going to be like a Jalen Reagor? Because guys, where's DJ Chark been? DJ Chark has not gotten any snaps on the field, and Harbaugh has clearly said, we want the best guys on the field. Clearly, they're seeing something with Jalen Reagor that they like, and they think he is a better wide receiver than DJ Chark, who we all thought was going to be the downfield threat, and he hasn't even been able to be on the field. So, again, going back to this young man we just signed, we might be, who knows? We'll see how it plays out. But Laviska Shenault, am I saying that right? Laviska Shenault? I'm probably not saying that correctly. But, again, released by the Seahawks. The Chargers just scooped him up, so we'll see how that plays out. Again, is he going to play anytime soon? Your guess is as good as mine. But, again, we are going to be going live tomorrow. We're going to talk more about the Chargers, the Chiefs game. It's going to be an interesting one, guys. I mean, it's going to be a great game. Sunday Night Football, probably the biggest game of the week for sure, guys. But interesting signing. Wanted to give you my take on it. We'll probably talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. As always, Andrew Bolt Bros. See you guys in the next one.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder and electric delight.